House of Cards.
TCG.
What's up guys, Shane here, House of Cards, TCG, coming to you with a deck profile. First place at our local tournament, Born to Game. We had 10 participants and this Invoked Dogmatika deck came in first place. I know you may have seen my previous deck profile. I think it was October. I've made some serious changes since then to combat the current meta, and it really paid off this week. I got first place at locals, and I just want to show you the deck profile. All right, guys, let's jump into this deck profile. The first thing we have is the Invoked package. So we are running 3 Magical Meltdown. That gets us into the Alistair the Invoker, which starts the whole Invoked combo. 1 Terraforming, just to give us an extra copy of Magical Meltdown. 3 Alistair the Invoker, adds the invocation from deck to hand. And we actually run 3 Invocation, which is completely different than what I am seeing from most deck profiles. And I did that because I want to hard draw the Invocation, because this deck is a hand trap magnet. Almost every time you summon Alistair, they will hit you with an Effect Veiler, they'll hit you with Ash Blossom, even the Ghost Mourner. It can be hit by almost all the hand traps. So you want to avoid that, and the 3 Invocation really helps with that. It came in really clutch at the tournament. Next thing we do is 3 Nadir Servant. That gets us into the Dogmatika package. So if we open up one of the Invoke starters, one of the Nadir Servant, we can almost say that's game, because we can set up just such a great board. We run 3 Ecclesia. Again, I'm seeing a lot of people run 2 Ecclesia. I don't know why. I know it's searchable, but you really want to see this in your hand. It searches out any other Dogmatika card. You can grab Punishment, you can grab the Fleur de Lis, you can grab Maximus. So it's just a great card, and you want to see it. That's why I play 3. We run 2 Fleur de Lis. It's searchable through Ecclesia and Nadir Servant. So only a need for 2 there, and it's less advantageous than the Ecclesia. So that's why we only play 2. And then we do 1 Maximus. A lot of people cut this out because it's easy to side against if someone sides in the Cyber Dragon Nova and then the Invoked Macabre. But I think it's still too powerful to be able to easily get into your Shaddoll Schism play. Next thing is 3 Pot of Desires. That's another reason that I run 3 Invocation, 3 Ecclesia. You do not want to banish all your great cards, but you really need the draw power in this deck. So 3 Desires it is. 2 Triple Tactics Talent. I was playing 3 Triple Tactics Talent, and I was seeing it in my hand too many times. It was a brick too often. I mean, it is a great card, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to open up 2 of these sometimes, and that's what happens when you play 3. I do 1 Called by the Grave. This is a going first deck, and probably 75% of the time when I open my hand, I would rather see the Called by the Grave than the Triple Tactics Talent, just because it allows me to play through the hand trap instead of drawing 2 or hand ripping. So Called by the Grave, great card, great going first card. I play 1 because it's limited to 1. And a tech card that I did, 1 Forbidden Droplet. It helped me get over a Dragoon. This deck has fairly limited outs to Dragoon, so I wanted the Droplet in there to be able to negate the Dragoon's effect and have its attack. It's a really powerful card. Next is the hand traps, 3 Nibiru. And you're probably wondering why 3 Nibiru in the main deck. Most people side deck this right now. There's just so many combo decks out right now. Almost every deck I played was a combo deck. I played against Combo Dino. I played against Infernoble twice. I played against Dragon Link. So all these decks, you want to have Nibiru. It really is just the most powerful hand trap. And the thing about combo decks, some of the other hand traps just basically do nothing. Effect Veiler does nothing against Dragon Link. Does, very limited effects against Infernoble. Next thing is 3 Ash Blossom. In my opinion, it's the most generic of the hand traps, and it just hits the most, so that's why I played it over Effect Veiler. 2 Dogmatika Punishment. This card is ridiculous. It's searchable through Ecclesia, and you should see your opponent's face when you play this card and you pop one of their monsters and send the Elder Entity Entis to the graveyard and then pop a second card. 2 Ice Dragon's Prison. If I had to go back and make this deck again, I really might add Ice Dragon's Prison to 3 and take out one of the Dogmatika Punishment, because this deck, sometimes if you resolve this card, you just win. Against Dragon Link, if you steal a dragon and then you banish both on the field, it's insane. The versatility of this card too, to be able to steal a monster from their graveyard, and then you do not even have to use the second effect to banish one. So it can be defensive as well as offensive, which makes it so good. We run one Shaddoll Schism. You only need one. It's searchable through a lot of your Dogmatika plays. And this card is just ridiculous, being able to get out the window on your opponent's turn and only allow them to special summon once. It's a win condition, frankly, if they don't have a way to deal with the window. 3 infinite impermanents to sum up the main deck. It's the best hand trap probably, just because it doesn't triple tactics talent. It doesn't activate it, and you can't Called by the Grave it. So that's why 3 impermanents, pretty standard. Let's get on to the extra deck. So we do the 1 Titanclad. That's standard play in Dogmatika, allows you to search out a Dogmatika. 2 Elder Entity Entis. That allows you to pop a card on the field when sent to the graveyard. Really powerful. 1 Dragon Master Knight. This card is essential in the current meta. If your opponent has let's say an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, this happened over the tournament, and I activated Dogmatika Punishment. And he gave me a funny look until I sent this card to the graveyard and destroyed his Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And it's important to have it because of the 5,000 attack. With Dogmatika Punishment, the monster that you're targeting, you have to send a monster with equal or higher attack from your extra deck to the graveyard. So that comes in really clutch against some of these higher powered attack monsters. Next thing is the Shaddoll package. So 1 Construct, 1 App Cologne, 1 Winda. The App Cologne lets you add the Shaddoll Schism to the hand. The Winda locks your opponent out of special summoning. Well, technically it locks you both out of special summoning more than once per turn. The Construct is it's rarely used, but it can recover the Schism from the graveyard to the hand. Next is the Invoked package. We have 2 Invoked Makaba. Card is ridiculous. It's a negate and banish, Omni negate. It really stuns your opponent. 1 Invoked Aguades. That card, if you can get that card on the field, you almost win with that, because you get 1 special summon pop. So your opponent special summons a monster, you get to pop one once per turn. And the second thing is, well, you get a pop on summon as well. And then the other effect, you can banish a fusion monster from your graveyard and increase Invoked Aguades attack by that monster's attack. So let's say you send the Dragon Master Knight to the graveyard. You can then increase Invoked Aguades attack by 5,000. That would put him at 7,000, so that is ridiculous. And we do 1 Invoked Purgatrio. It's a great card going second, allows you to break your opponent's board because it can attack all the monsters that your opponent has once each. It also does piercing battle damage, so keep that in mind. Next we have the Secure Gardna and a Salamandrate Almirage, very standard in the Invoked engine to get you the free Invoked Makaba out of the Alistair the Invoker. Next we do Black Luster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. He's the best generic Link 3 in my opinion. His being able to summon him with a level 7 monster is easy in this deck, and that affords him the ability not to be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is huge. He can also banish 1 card on the field when he defeats an opponent's monster by battle, or he can gain 1,500 attack, or he can declare in a second attack your next turn. So he's just really strong. Next thing we have is the 1 Psy-Frame Lord Omega. Sometimes you want to send this to the graveyard with the Dogmatika package. It allows you to recover your resources. So it's more situational. I think I only used it once in the whole tournament, but it's still good to have. Let's get into the side deck. The first thing I'm side decking, and this came in clutch, 3 Token Collector. I was playing, like I said, against Infernoble, Dragon Link, and Combo Dino, all of which use Link Cross. So when your opponent wants to resolve Link Cross and you bring out the Token Collector, it really throws them off. It really sets them back, and they really don't have a lot of plays after the link cross, after the tokens are gone. A lot of those synchro plays are just completely gone. And the good thing about Token Collector is you get to keep the Token Collector. It's not banished at the end phase like Gamma. It's just an extra resource on your board after that. Next thing is 3 Dark Ruler No More. Sided this in going second. You have to see it going second, or else your chances of winning go drastically down if you don't open Dark Ruler No More going second against these combo decks that build these boards that otherwise you would not be able to break. We do 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This card, back row decks hate it. It banishes instead of destroys, which can really harm their combos. I was thinking about Twin Twisters. I know I keep going back and forth between Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twisters. I settled on Cosmic Cyclone because the Twin Twisters, I have to discard a card to activate it, and I didn't want to do that. And the banishing effect, I think, is just a little bit more advantageous right now. I could go either way, but I like the Cosmic Cyclone a little better. 3 Evenly Matched. Again, going second, I would side this card in. At the very least, your opponent has to negate this card or else they banish their entire field except for 1 card. So it's ridiculous. You have to side it going second. 3 Effect Veiler. I put this in the side deck because I'm main decking 3 Nibiru, and if I'm playing a control deck, I don't want to see the Nibiru, so I side it out for the Effect Veiler, which is more generic. And a lot of like I said, almost all the decks I played were combo decks, so the Nibiru came in clutch. I actually only sided in the Effect Veiler against a Buster Blader deck that was more of a control style, and worked out great. So that is the side deck. Let's do a test hand here for you and see how it goes. See what plays I can make. Showing off my new and improved shuffling method. Okay, let's draw 5. So we have Pot of Desires, Magical Meltdown, Ecclesia, Forbidden Droplet, and Ash. So this is a great hand. The first thing we do is activate the Magical Meltdown. Allows us to search an Alistair the Invoker from our deck to our hand. So we're going to add the Invoker. We're going to normal summon Alistair the Invoker. We're going to activate his effect to add an invocation from deck to hand. Add the invocation. Next, we're going to link off Alistair the Invoker for Salamandrate Almirage. The next thing we're going to do is link off the Almirage for the Secure Gardener. And then we're going to activate the invocation. So we're going to banish Alistair the Invoker. We're going to banish Secure Gardener. And we are going to special summon Invoked Dogmatika. And that gives us our Omni Negate, which is huge. And then you want to activate right away. You want to activate this right away, the invocation. You're going to shuffle it back into the deck and add the Alistair the Invoker back to hand. It's a really powerful recursion effect. You do not want to forget about that one. You can do it once per turn, which is ridiculous because now you're set up next turn with Alistair the Invoker. You can start the combo again because invocation is right back in the deck. So the next thing with this hand we would want to do is special summon the Ecclesia. And with that, we can search out a Dogmatika card. So in this case, we would want to search out the, let's give you a peek at our hand. We'll go ahead and search out the Dogmatika Maximus. From deck to hand. And then from there, we'll activate the Maximus, banishing the Salamandrate Almirage to summon. And we will activate his effect to send 2 to the graveyard. So we will send the Shadow App Cologne and the Titanclad. And keep in mind, this is just the basic combo. It sets you up. It's a really great combo. And we activate App Cologne effect. We add Shadow Schism from deck to hand. And then we have to discard one. So in this case, out of these, we probably want to discard the, let's say we'll discard the Forbidden Droplet. And then we will set the Shaddoll Schism. At that point, we're probably going to activate the Pot of Desires. Banish 10, draw 2. So let's see what we banish here. And we just added 2 resources to hand, 1 Nadir Servant, 1 Dogmatika Punishment. So that's really great. We're going to activate Nadir Servant. And we are going to send, let's see, what do we want to send to the graveyard with the cost? Well, technically not a cost. We'll do the Omega just to get him in the graveyard. It's a good resource to have there. And then we'll add a Dogmatika monster from deck to hand, which will be the Fleur-de-Lis. So then from there, we'll set the punishment. And then during our end phase, because we sent Titanclad to the graveyard, we get to add a Dogmatika monster from deck to hand or special summon it. In this case, we're gonna wanna add it to hand, set us up for the next turn, Dogmatika, Ecclesia. And so with this end board here, we have so many disruptions. The first one is the Invoked Dogmatika. The next one is Shaddoll Schism. So our opponent will only be able to special summon 1 time next turn if we time it right. And then we also have the Dogmatika Punishment. We still have an Ash Blossom in hand, and we have a Fleur-de-Lis, which we can special summon during our opponent's turn and negate the effect of 1 face-up monster on their field, non-targeting, because we have a Dogmatika monster on the field. So just with that simple combo, we've set up a board that's really, really tough to break, and going first, this deck is just insane. So guys, this is Shane, House of Cards TCG, with a championship deck profile here for you, and signing out.
House of Cards.